Okay, we're good.
To be honest, it doesn't feel like it's been half of a year. Well, it does and it doesn't. It's very weird because it feels like I haven't had a year at all, and it feels like there's been a lot that's happened. Majority of senior year has been, for me at least, it's been keeping up with the organizations that I work with. It's been keeping up with college applications and all of that. Keeping up with current events, there's something always going on. Just today's February 2nd. Earlier this week, there was a whole thing with the Wall Street bet stuff with the Wall Street and the stock market that happened actually last week. And so, something's always going on and it's real crazy. It is what it is. That's life.
Senior year, how are we doing? How do you think as a student, how are you doing?
So far, this year has been very, very rough. But I think as a student, I'm at the point where I'm starting my new C&M class of the semester, and I'm starting all my classes again this semester. And I'm pretty burnt out, to be honest. Like, I feel like I know I'm gonna do it. I know I have to do it. But it's just like I just want to graduate already. Like, I'm done. Yeah, that's about it.
So, we're about halfway through the year, school year, halfway through the quarter, and for the seniors we have, a little over 3 months until we're done with school, and then soon after that we graduate, and it's just weird thinking about next steps and the way this year's been, looking back on 4 years that I've been here and that we've all been here, and it's just really weird to think about, honestly, just being that close to graduating and moving on to all of our different or next phases in life, I guess. It's a strange feeling, and I try just to not really think about it, at least not right now, and just focus on other things, I guess, because I don't know, it's just, I keep saying this, but it's the best word to describe it. It's just weird. It's strange. I don't know how to feel about it. It's different. It's just a whole new feeling, I guess.
Halfway through senior year has been, it's been an interesting and hard first half, but it feels like things are getting much better. Or hopefully they'll be getting more better more quickly as time goes on.
Yeah, so we're halfway through our senior year, a little bit more than halfway through. This is the end of February. And I think our school year, I think senior year has been a trip. I think that's where I'm gonna leave that right now. I'm the creator of this project, and oh my god, yeah, director. No. So this project started out as like a joke, and then I got interested in the idea of it, and then I turned it into like a school project, and now like the school requirements I was supposed to meet in order to do this project I've met and I've completed, and I feel like I've kind of lost a little bit of motivation to do it, just because. So in March of 2020, March 13th, schools closed up. They shut down. It was like supposed to be an extra week of spring break. And then we never went back in person. And then summertime of 2020 was shut down, so there was no swimming pools, there was no amusement parks. And then we started back online, and we've been online since. So that being said, we have been in online school for almost a year now, and I think, which means COVID has been a thing for over a year now in the United States. And I think when it comes down to like COVID and just like this past year being such a historical thing, and just like historical event after historical event after like if I had a dime for every time someone said, oh, this is so historical, I'd be rich by now. But I think then when everyone talks about it, it's like this really serious thing, and I'm kind of tired of talking about it. I just get like this gross feeling. So I guess this is my formal way of saying that I'm going to start experimenting with this project more, and it might look a little bit different.
I'm proud that I didn't fail any classes, and I passed all my CNM classes, so that's really good. I was a little worried there for a minute for a couple of classes, but you know, we're keeping it strong, we're keeping it going. I think everyone can kind of relate to that, but yeah, I'm proud of myself for that.
The main thing I'm proud about for doing this school year is probably working so hard on Zooniverse early on. It gave me a major head start when it comes to senior project as a whole.
I'm proud of applying to all of these schools. It's a hard process, but I guess one good thing that has come out of the pandemic is I've been able to really apply myself to these applications, and sort of I've been able to write about myself in ways I didn't know I could, and really, do things that I've wanted to do for such a long time. One of those things has been, applying to universities. I've been wanting to go to post-secondary for as long as I can remember. And if we didn't have the pandemic, I don't know if I would have done as many schools as I would have now, and I don't know if I would have learned as much about myself as I have now. So I know that's one thing for sure.
One thing that I'm proud of myself for this year would be, I don't know, I guess I put myself out there. I basically applied to some schools that I was interested in, that I'm not expecting to get into at all, but instead of just not applying, I decided to do so anyways and just kind of give it a go or whatever, and so, I don't know, I guess I'm proud of that, or happy about that, I don't know.
I'm happy. This feels weird to say. I'm not happy it happened my senior year, but I am happy that I was able to establish relationships with people and my classmates before everything went online, because I know that there are kids that are starting out high school, or starting out at a new school, or starting out middle school, or even elementary school, who are learning how to navigate a classroom online, and that's just not the same thing. So I don't know if I can say I'm happy about it, but I appreciate the situation I was in before it went online, because I think it has helped my class, and I'm not speaking for anybody, but I think it has helped us navigate it a little bit better.
To keep myself sane, oh gosh, that's a loaded question. No, what do? I try and make sure I eat food and get enough sleep, and do skincare routines, self-care, that kind of stuff is really helpful. I would recommend everyone to do that, just because if you're not taking care of yourself actively, then you're just gonna not be happy. And take time to relax. Don't be too hard on yourself. We're going through a pandemic, this isn't normal. You shouldn't be expected to do normal things.
The main thing I've been doing to keep myself sane is just reading books, playing games, and watching shows.
In terms of what I've been doing to keep myself sane during all of this, or whatever, I mean, I've been trying to do a few things. Like, one, I'm trying to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. So, like, cleaning my room and getting dressed every day. Stuff like that. I've been trying to, like, connect with friends more, because I know, I mean, this is weird for everyone. And so just trying to, text friends and call friends and see how everyone's doing. I've been trying to read more during my free time, which has only gone so-so.
What have I done to keep me sane? I think I talked about this last video. Yeah, last time. What I recently started, what I said back then was, playing Xbox, playing Destiny. I love that game. The game is amazing. What I recently started doing is doing a little bit more mindfulness. I think that's really been helping me.
But actually, I mean, another thing that I've been doing a lot, so I've been learning to play the guitar or whatever. I'm not going to play because I'm bad. But yeah, I don't know, I've been enjoying it and somewhat consistent at like practicing, which is good, I guess, and definitely better than last time I tried to play, because a few years ago I tried to play and it wasn't so consistent in practicing and eventually stopped, but I don't know, so I'm enjoying this, I guess.
We are at the stage in our lives where we get to figure out what we want to be when we grow up, and we get to go to college for it, and we get to learn about it, and we get to actually like go into a career field and like look at what that means. So I think it's very interesting to be going through that situation in a pandemic when you can't do things in person, because careers, I think, as of 2021, careers usually mean like you're going to college if you want a good career. You're going to college if you want to make a lot of money. And that's not always true, but I think that's the expectation. And so I think in that we're still kids, but we've grown up a lot, and in doing so we've learned a lot about ourselves. So I think just like, what do you want to be when you grow up is a really good question to ask, which is why I asked it in my email. So I guess I'll answer it. I would like to work in the film industry. I don't know exactly what I would like to do. Director sounds scary because I don't like telling people what to do. Producer sounds fun, but also numbers kind of scare me. So I'm gonna just say I'm open to anything. Netflix, hire me. Just kidding. Not kidding. I'm available. I'm gonna leave it at that.
As of right now, I am currently wanting to be a marine biologist, primarily because I want to help preserve our oceans, since there's still so much that we don't know about them, and we're slowly killing them, as well as the rest of the planet.
So in terms of what I want to be as an adult for a career or whatever, well, for the longest time I wanted to be a filmmaker, but last year I thought about that a lot, and I realized that I don't want to be a filmmaker anymore. I still love film, but that's not what I want to do. Instead, I want to become a lawyer, and I'm like certain that this is what I'm going to do with my life, and it's what I'm planning for. And I don't know, I want to fight against injustice in the law through legal means, as well as advocating for civil rights and equality. And yeah, I guess a lawyer is a path that I've thought about and I think would be a decent way of doing that. So
I know for, like, since middle school, I've been talking about doing something in like the film industry. And to be honest, I'm still thinking about doing that. I'm a little uncertain now just because I'm at the place where like I just want to retire. I just want to retire after high school and just be happy and chill. But yeah, so I still want to do film stuff. I'm still, feeling it out, seeing like I'm open to change. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm open to whatever happens to me in life, but I'm still into film.
I got asked this a while ago, and I thought it would be interesting to ask some of my peers. And it was just like, basically, what are some social issues that you guys are interested in? Because obviously, social issues change over time. What was popular in the 60s might be popular now, but in a different way. Or it might be completely solved or off the table or whatever. So I think what's important to me right now is like, yes, family and friends, and I think within that, I think it's just like social interaction, and not necessarily like meeting new people and talking to people all the time, but just like the people that I surround myself is very important, and with that, mental health is important and physical health is important, but also like climate change is like a big deal. Gun violence is also a big deal, or it was more of a big deal when we were in school because it was more of a threat.
At this point, what's important to me, like aside from my family and my personal like physical and mental health, and like my friends, because I do care about a lot of people, I also want to like just care about like social issues. Like, I mean, obviously all the political stuff is kind of insane at the moment, and that's like a lot to think about. And just like COVID wise, like, everyone stay in your COVID bubbles, keep wearing your masks, don't go to parties because that's not very nice. But yeah, I don't know, I guess that's pretty much what's been occupying my mind these days.
So, what's important to me right now? I would say the people that are close to me, so family, friends, even though we can't see each other during these times, I mean, people that are close to me still matter to me and matter in my life. So just looking forward to the day when we can hang out again. Also, social justice. I mean, that's something that is on my mind a lot, and I try to pay attention to. And yeah.
The next question was, do you have any advice for future high school seniors? And I'm just thinking, we're halfway through our senior year. We've already gone through it, but not all the way through. And I think that like the best advice you give is the advice you give while you're in it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. I think what I wanted to know when I was not a high school senior was like, what do I need to expect school-wise? What kind of assignments are they going to give me? What are the grades that you guys get? And I think that I was overthinking it too much. I think senior year at Amy Beale, because that is my experience, is an opportunity for you to like branch out, and you start getting to study things in school that you're actually interested in. You also focus a lot on colleges. So if you are not a high school senior and you're looking at being one, I would highly recommend start looking at colleges that you're interested in, because that is not something I did. And when it actually came time for me to apply to colleges, I realized that I had no portfolio. I had not collected or prepared anything to submit portfolio-wise, and all of the schools that I really want to go to require one.
Advice for seniors. Okay, two things. One, senioritis is a thing, and you're probably going to fall into it. I had heard about that during my junior year, and I kind of waved it away. I was like, I'm sure some people fall into that state, and some people don't, and I'm sure I'll be fine. But, you work really hard over the 3 years in high school to get to your senior year. So you kind of want to take it easy. And yes, it is great to take breaks and relax and take care of yourself. Make sure your mental health is doing okay, you're getting enough sleep, and that you're getting dressed every day. All those things. So do those things, but just don't fall into a state where that's all you're doing, where you're not doing any work, or when you do work, it's the day before, the night of, where you're just not doing as much in class, not engaging as much. It's not fun, honestly. Like, if you have stuff to do, but you're not doing it, it's just, it's bad. So just be aware of that.
For anyone who is going to be a high school senior at some point in their life, hopefully it's not during a pandemic, because I don't think, at least for my senior class, we've had a normal senior year at all. So hopefully it's not that. Be easy on yourselves. Like, I know you want to get everything done and you want to go to college and do all this and want to do that. And it's like, obviously, of course, you have to do that at some point. But it's also like, be easy on yourself. Like, realize that you're a human and you're not like a crazy person who has to do all this crazy work all the time. Like, just enjoy it, because it's like, you know, this is like the last point in your life when you're like a kid. You're gonna become an adult soon. So just be happy, enjoy it. Like, keep your innocence. Be happy, you know, don't worry and stress too much, because there's gonna be an entire lifetime of stress left for you, so you might as well just be happy.
Yeah, so I've been hearing this term senioritis everywhere, and I've been hearing it for years. I don't know what it means. So I looked it up, and according to the dictionary, Oxford Languages, just the one on Google, senioritis is a real word, and it is a noun, and it is a supposed affliction of students in their final year of high school or college, characterized by a decline in motivation or performance. That being said, I might have just diagnosed myself with senioritis.
Second piece of advice is, so if you're going to college, don't put off any of the college stuff, like any of that. If Matt's having you work on college essay, your personal essay or whatever, do that and meet those deadlines and continue working on it and revising it. You don't want to end up right before winter break trying to get all that done. You also especially don't want to end up December 31st working on applications that are due at midnight. You don't want that to happen. And I know, like, you always hear, just don't procrastinate, don't procrastinate. Every class of every grade level, all the time, you just hear that all the time. So it probably gets like, yeah, I know. But still, I mean, just don't. It's makes your life so much harder, especially for bigger things like that. You know, if you are planning on going to college, you don't want to just put that off, like, at all. It's a big deal. So, I don't know, just get your stuff done on time.
So, generally speaking, we can't tell the future. If you can, I'd love to talk, but generally speaking, the future is something that's kind of like scary and unknown and intriguing and exciting and, you know, that kind of thing. I think right now it's especially unknown and scary to me, because we just don't know what anything is going to look like. We have had a little bit of progress pandemic-wise. Politically, there's been a lot of changes, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. There's just so much happening that when it comes down to like college and post-graduation plans, that's such a big thing because it's directly happening, but it's such a small thing in the expanse of other things. So I think personally, I'm just gonna take a gap semester. I would like to see what happens, maybe get some work experience, maybe pursue some sort of other learning opportunities outside of school.
My current postgraduate plan is to go to college. I have a list of various marine biology universities that I've applied to, and depending on which ones I get accepted into, I'll go to whichever one is highest on my list. At the top, I have Duke University, and then at the bottom, I have UNM.
So I applied to UNM early this school year, and I got in. And I also applied to a few other colleges out of state just this last early December. So I'm still waiting back for my results or whatever happened to them, if I got in or not. Normally they say that they come out normally around March is when you find out, so we're still waiting. But at the moment, besides what is happening for my colleges, I am sort of at this moment deciding that I might defer for a year and just spend a year working, maybe traveling, I don't know, just depending on what's going on, just because I don't really see COVID going away, and online school has been incredibly difficult for me, and I know a lot of my peers as well, so I don't think I can do online school for college. So I think I just want to take a year off, relax, get some experience, maybe do some work, also get maybe some job experience in like the film world, doing like production assistant jobs, I don't know, and then go to college again the year after.
What are my plans for after high school? Well, I plan on going to college, which means that I will be moving out of my parents' house sometime over the summer. And as of where I'll be moving to, don't know yet. I haven't heard back from pretty much all the schools that I've applied to except the ones in state. I got time to have a concrete plan of where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do, all those sort of things. But I know what I'm going to major in and what I'm looking for with college, what I want to get out of it, and I do know that I want to go to college, so yeah.
Within the idea of talking about like post-graduation plans and college and all of that, because typically, you graduate high school and then college is right there, right? I think college as a concept and with the intellectual vibe and the social and everything that you should be getting out of college is worth it. I would love to be in an environment like that, but at the same time, money-wise, it is not worth it.
Currently, I don't think college is super worth it because it costs so much to learn information that you really can get, not that you don't have to go to college to learn. Like, yes, being in a classroom and having a specific teacher does help learning something, but you can at the same time just learn so much of it through the internet and through just talking with other people. And just so much, it's not super worth it, but with the current society that we live in, it's really hard to have a stable life without going to college. And even then, you might not have a stable life financially. Yeah, even if you do go to college and graduate. It's a messed up situation that needs to change.
So, college, personally, for myself, it's worth it. It's what I want to do. It's what I plan on doing for a lot of reasons. But, there are other ways of going about life, and like I get for people, it might not be worth it, and you might want to do something else or go a different route or live your life a different way. And so, that's cool too, So for myself, it's worth it. For people where it's not worth it, I get it.
At this point, the thought of college just seems incredibly exhausting to me, and I don't know, I feel like nowadays in society you kind of have to have some sort of degree to be able to get a job that you might want or something like that. So it sucks because it's like you shouldn't have to go to college to just get an ordinary job, but at this point in time it kind of feels like you have to, and that sucks. It shouldn't be like that. But I do think college is worth it, and I do think if you're looking for a secondary education, then college is for you, but you don't have to go if you don't want to. You can have other plans as long as you're pursuing your dreams and being happy about it, then you don't have to go to college.
So I'm not a professional philosopher. I'm not a professional anything at this point, but I think what everything comes down to, this is my big view on life right now. Hot take. I think what everything comes down to is what you want to get out of life and what you want life to get out of you, right? You want to live a good life. You want to be happy, you want to be successful, whatever that means to you. Your good life is not going to be the same as someone else's good life, but it's still a good life. That does not make it any less valid. So when I think coming down to everything, you know, you got your career plans, you got your college plans, you got your social plans, you know, you got your hobbies. It all comes down to like what you want to leave behind and what you want people to remember you for, and also what you want to get out of it.
Yeah, I'd have to think a lot more about what I'd want my legacy to be, or what I want to leave high school knowing. I got time to think about that, and that time is not now. But I guess I would say to my graduated self, you did it, and keep going, because your journey or whatever is not over yet. Yeah.
Like, what do you want your legacy to be, and what do you want? Do you have a message for like graduated you?
At this point, it's weird because it's like, even though I'm still in high school and I'm still a teenager, I feel as if my like whole like high school teenage life, like my high school life, ended back in last March. So it's kind of weird to like think about it, just because it's like, you know, I wanted to do senior pranks, I wanted to go to prom, I wanted to like do all that stuff that, you know, senior ditch day and all that stuff. And I feel like to an extent it's like I've already moved past that, and I'm already like in a different stage of my life, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I want to leave school knowing that I accomplished what I could, and that I'm moving on to like greater things, and I'm still gonna be who I am, and you know, do the best that I did. And like, I have to just be accepting of like growing up, I guess, in a way.
What's really weird about this year, specifically this time of the year, is where we are at right now, today, senior year, is around the time when the pandemic, well, at the time, the virus was just, you know, getting real bad in other parts of the world. And I remember this is around the time when we were like, oh, it's fine, it'll be gone. Like, other countries will be able to control it. Yeah, it's real crazy to think this was like the last quarter I had in person. I would have definitely valued it more if I knew we'd be here. That's for sure.
What it all comes down to, I mean, we can talk about careers, we can talk about our college plans, we can talk about our hobbies, we can talk about the pandemic or, you know, our political scene, but what it really comes down to is like what we want to be as people. And I think we have had the opportunity to really look at that a little bit deeper. For better or for worse. But I think that this school year has been an interesting one, to say the least. Thanks, COVID. No, I'm kidding. Not really.